Hi everybody, once again on behalf of Diamond Billiard Products and Accu-Stats Video Productions, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the second semifinal in the 2015 Diamond Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge. This is coming to you live from the Accu-Stats Arena here at the Horseshoe, Southern Indiana, the home of the Derby City Classic. The Diamond Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge is a special 16-player event where each player paid a $1,000 entry fee to play 10-ball single elimination. In addition to the $16,000 representing the entry fees, another $16,000 has been added courtesy of Diamond Billiard Products and tournament director for this event, Jay Helfert. And I'd like to ask all of you to give them a round of applause for their support. Thank you all very, very much. All of these matches are races to 11. The format is rack your own, winner breaks, with a 40-second shot clock and one extension per rack per player. The extension is given automatically. If the 10 ball's pocketed on the break, it does not count as a win. It spots immediately and the player will continue to shoot. This is being played under non-call shot rules. That means that as long as the lowest numbered ball on the table is legally struck first, anything that goes in does count and the player continues to shoot, and we're playing all ball fouls. Both of these players have earned at least $4,000 by making it this far. The winner will go to the final against Lee Van Corteza at 9 o'clock tonight, where each player will be guaranteed a minimum of $8,000 and the champion will receive $16,000. This particular matchup brings together two players who have an extremely long and dramatic history. Going back at least 8 or 9 years, they've played countless number of times. Some of the matches have been nothing less than historic in proportion, and we'll probably see more of the same tonight. So with that said, it's now my pleasure to introduce our players for semifinal number 2. Our first player is from Toronto, Canada. This gentleman's a former world 9-ball champion. He is the former Accu-Stats 8-ball invitational champion. He's a Derby City 9-ball champion, and he's also the Tunica 10-ball champion among his long list of accomplishments. To arrive at this point, he has defeated Jason Shaw and John Mora on his way to this semifinal. He's sponsored by Puyat Sports and AlexPagulayan.com. Without question, he's Hall of Fame bound. Ladies and gentlemen, the smallest man with the biggest heart, it's the Lion, Alex Pagulayan. Thank you, everybody. His opponent from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This gentleman is a 4-time Billiards Digest Player of the Year. He holds 2 Derby City World All-Around Championships, one of only 3 men in history to accomplish that feat. He is the reigning World Pool Masters champion, and he is the defending Diamond Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge champion. His route to the semifinal included a victory over Johnny Archer and then over Jason Klatt, and he too is guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame as soon as he reaches the age eligibility requirement. Sponsored by Q-Tech, ladies and gentlemen, a 4-time US Open 9-ball champion, the South Dakota Kid, Shane Van Boening. At this time, it's my pleasure to send it up to the booth to Mark Wilson and Hall of Famer Danny DiLiberto. Take it away, gentlemen.
First off, I would like to say I love pool. This match, this showdown could not be more inspiring for all of us that love pool. Welcome along, pool fans. Mark Wilson here alongside Danny DiLiberto. And Danny, I couldn't be more excited about this. I know you feel the same way. What should we look for in this one?
Well, first of all, Shane has not been playing up to par. Alex won a couple matches, and he's always a threat to win any game. Now, we got to see if Shane can get himself together, because he hasn't been playing real well. And like you said earlier, if he plays the way he's playing, I like Alex. But that doesn't work that way.
No, Shane kind of struggled through his 2 matches. Alex played solid performances in both. Shane's won the leg, first break. Nice break. Who hits the sweet spot better? Shane Van Boening. He's going to get a shot here, Danny. He's going to be able to open up the scoring here, maybe on 1 inning.
He made 4 balls.
You know, I think Shane is really going to be psyched up for this match. He knows that he's struggled through this tournament so far. He's escaped a couple matches. He's so consistent. Even he can win when he's not playing his very best. But he's going to have to bring out his very best here to beat Alex Pagulayan.
Well, he's getting a chance to start off right. That always helps. You always want to win the first game, because then you can't get blanked.
Well, it sets a tone for the whole match. The person that wins the first game wins over 55% of the matches. Looks like this will be 2 cushions forward. Well, 3 cushions.
Well, the third one don't count.
And once he drops off the side there, it trickles away from the cushion. Now he has free access to the cue ball. 2 cushions around. 8 ball hanging in the side pocket. 9 ball or 10 ball right where it was racked.
Making short work of this.
Yeah. Opens the match with a great break and run out. And just as fast as we did the opening, Shane Van Boening has marked a score bead on his side of the ledger. Leads the match 1-0. Yeah, the energy in the arena is different for this match. You can tell this is befitting of a final match.
You're right. You can feel the air. They've been anticipating this. The stands are pretty well filled on a Monday. Knowledgeable fans, by the way, because we've been here 17 years, not at this particular site, but 7 years at this one. Then the other one. And this area has seen the best players in the world for 17 years, so they're knowledgeable.
Yeah, I think everybody saw this matchup last night on the chart and just kind of built that into their mental alarm clocks that they wanted to be here for this one. There's no sense coming to the Derby City if you're not excited by this match. Van Boening breaking again from the same location. He pocketed 3 balls on the last break. Uh-oh, cue ball got away. He leaned into it. It hopped into the side, 1 hop. And that's going to negate that great break and run out most likely.
Yeah, but I call that a bad shot. That is not bad luck, you know. Like we said earlier, Lee Van Corteza never scratched on the break. You know, you gotta protect that. You know, it's great to hit him hard, but don't fly off the table. Yeah, I'm gonna make that a flaw.
Well, Alex came up just a little short on this position.
Yeah, he doesn't have the good angle.
The good thing for him, he has the super firepower that sometimes can offset a little bit off-angle position.
I mean, is he going to try to play for the bank?
I don't think so, no.
Let's see. The 4 doesn't go many places. You sure he's not playing for the bank? He got funny now, and he can cut this in.
And he couldn't have got better. He
He's
went
a
right
great
where he
shot
wanted
maker.
to. He's on the 4 ball.
I know he is.
Oh.
And,
That's where he wanted to
the
be.
6 is out in the open.
Uh-oh. Well, you
It's
were
not
right.
out in the open anymore.
No. He got so thin on there, the cue ball got away. He did not mean to collide into that side of the 9 ball for sure.
Well, I got rules. Don't hit balls when they all go somewhere, because you could only make them worse. And that's what happened here. He might have a backward cut on the 6, very thin, but I don't know what else. Well, he did have it in the pocket. Look, he got a little lucky there. He jumped up.
He's smiling.
He did jump up on that shot.
Well, he didn't jump on that one. He just overcut it just a little bit. And Shane's not going to get punished for that direct scratch on the break. That's really going to hurt the Pagulayan camp just because you're not going to get that many golden opportunities from Shane
And it's
Van
a
Boening.
shot that you're not supposed to miss. If you put the cue ball back there and said, I'll bet you $1 million, he would make that ball forever. But playing position and in a match, different story. He looked out. He didn't have any problems.
I'd like to mention that the 10 ball does not count on the break, and we are playing all ball fouls, too.
Yeah.
Van Boening now has his second game, leads the match 2-0. Well, I bet Shane takes a little more care on this contact with the head ball on the break.
You mean he learned something?
Well,
Making the cue ball hop in the air?
He knows he's lucky to escape on an open table, ball in hand for his opponent.
First of all, from watching this all week, it looks to me like the hard break isn't as good as the little softer break. Let's see what he does. Very smart player. It isn't like he's a moron.
Well, I don't think he's going to change away from the hard break. He made 3 balls on the opening break, and then this time he just mishit the head ball.
Back 3, Shane breaks, he leads 2-0.
Kind of interesting now. Watch his eyes right here. Aiming, aiming, aiming. Before he enters the shot. This is where the aim, then confirming. A little better contact.
He took a little bit off, too.
Made a
Got
ball.
a cut. I don't think he has a real clear path to go 2 rails to the 2 ball.
Yeah, you hate to take on a bank just for positional purposes, but that might be the best path.
Percentage-wise, it may be.
That's certainly a default towards Shane's judgment, though. He's at the table. Well, he's going to miss the
He
bank.
double banked it.
Okay.
He didn't play it that way, folks, but he played the position, and like Mark pointed out, there you're better off banking the ball and getting position for sure. Cutting it in, he would have had all kinds of obstructions. So, meanwhile, Shane is rolling pretty good here.
You know, every year we come here, this tournament is always the most interesting to me. But you know, a guy that consistently scores high in this tournament is Lee Van Corteza.
That's what I said. He might not be the best player, but he's the most consistent.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
You got to beat him. He don't give it away. Well, anyway, Shane is human, and it's pretty nice to have a great player like Alex get his stroke loose. You know, a good player doesn't start off good. You got to be a little looser. I know they're champions and they're ready to play.
Cue ball settles in ideally for the 10. And with Shane Van Boening's second break and run out, he collects a 3-0 lead. Yeah, they're off to a tremendous pace here for the Van Boening side. Race to 11. Pagulayan's really only made one slight positional error. He followed that up with a missed shot that inadvertently went in 2 cushions. Then
and now he went to sleep. Look, he's sleeping.
I think he's concentrating.
He's meditating.
You just get himself ready for his next opportunity. You don't get that many. You definitely have to be mentally keyed up for it. Oh, very good break this time.
Look at the cue ball.
Very good. Very good. Look at the power. Look at the ball action. Look at the cue ball just jump back there and stop. Yep. Van Boening definitely came to play today.
Well, it helps to make 3 balls on the break. Look at this, and they're all out in the open.
What do you attribute Shane's success on the break to, Danny, over the years?
He practices it 4 hours a day.
1 day a week, he dedicates 4 hours. Every day, he dedicates an hour or 2. And if you don't put that type of time in there, you cannot hit the sweet spot often enough. Your timing's not good. Many times.
You got to love the game, too.
And
that helps.
Yeah, well, he loves the game, yeah. Well, good shot. You know, this is something, too. I hear other pro players say, yeah, if I had Shane's break. That's what they say. But they won't pay the price. That's the problem. You know, we could all say, yeah, I wish I had it.
They still got to run out after the break.
Well, he puts the time in for that, too.
Yeah.
This guy's a ball-making machine.
He got plenty here. He's got work to do to get to the 4.
He's still a little off angle, yeah.
Well, he got it on the 50-yard line again.
Sometimes when you play yourself out of line, though, like on the previous shot, he kind of made sure he got the ball in the hole and didn't overdo the position play on this one, just minimizing his unforced errors. Now, this is going to be a back cut to what we call a blind pocket. Many players find this shot very distasteful. He struck it as pure as you possibly could.
He did, and controlled the cue ball. I think he's got to go 3 rails now.
It'll take a moment.
Yeah, he's going to go 3 rails off this ball.
I like his pace. There's a 40-second shot clock. He's not hurried. It's going to be good. He's going to be off the cushion. Good shot there. And there's the 3rd break and run out of the match out of 4 games. Shane has only made 1 mistake. That was a scratch on the break. He still won that game. He now leads the match 4 games to 0.
He's already got 4,000 cinched. This win will give him 8,000 for sure.
And Danny says that like it lubricates your elbow a little bit when
it
you
does.
Get
Yeah, you play better with 4,000 more in your pocket than nothing.
It's a lot harder to play when you're on the empty. Big smiles abound. Our huge crowd here in the arena. They know they're witnessing pool excellence. Miss hit the cue ball. Not going to get punished. Wow.
Well, he made the ball, but he's gotten out a good shot on the one. We didn't see safeties.
No. Straight back bank. He's on a good run. He can handle the cue ball.
I don't believe that. You got a 4-0 lead. This is not a shot that you're going to make for sure. No, I don't like shooting this. No.
I think the likelihood that he makes it, plus the likelihood that he can tuck the cue ball behind the 2, makes this a go shot.
If he throws in a safety and a chance to make it, that's a different story. But I still don't think he's supposed to shoot this. It's not a for sure ball.
Well, you very well may be right. He's going to
Yeah, you
clip it
can't
safe.
shoot that. But he did. But he didn't make it. But he snookered him. No, he didn't. No, I don't agree with that shot. Sometimes you're playing so good that it affects your judgment. You think you could walk on water suddenly.
Well, I don't think that. I think if it doesn't land in front of the side pocket here, he's fine.
Well, it's got to land somewhere, Mark. It ain't going to disappear.
But there's 2 5-foot rails it could have landed on.
Okay. Okay. You're getting me ready to argue with Billy. Because in reality, I got to say I was right.
All right. Well, anyway, Pagulayan enjoys that he played the 1 ball straight back.
Of course. You know, he's going to get punished 1 game, but that's not maybe all of it.
Right. No, not at all. Not at this level.
You let the guy in the game. You're cruising along 4-0. You don't have to shoot a bank like that on a 10-foot table. And he's going to get punished. Good speed. I recognize the layout pretty good here. He's uncomfortable. He can't reach it real well. He got up again. Got to get his knee further up on the table.
Brought the cue ball back. Good shot. That was an off-angle shot. He trickles the cue ball 2 feet back, and people think, well, that wasn't no big deal, but he knows that was an important shot. Like the way he rechecked himself on it, too. Now it's pretty much just stop, slide, and stop. Well done there.
See, another thing about shooting that long bank, you give a guy a chance that's struggling to get loose. You know, there's a lot of psychological to that shot. He should never have played it. And I'm not second-guessing the bank because I called it before he shot it.
The Pagulayan 1, Van Boening 4. Pagulayan will be breaking. Me personally, I feel the other way. I think it's a for sure go shot, and I think it lends itself just the way he's playing, and he's got a fair chance to get safe. But you can never second guess someone that, or you can't criticize someone that goes down being aggressive. And he didn't play a phony safety. He didn't lose the game because of that. He took a chance to win the game there. And it's one of those borderline calls, maybe how you feel at the time, too. There's not a right or wrong. I'm not criticizing you, Danny. I don't mean like that at all.
Oh, I know you're not, but you got to admit it was not a good idea. We'll see. He got punished 1 game, and it could be worse now.
Now he's breaking from the same spot on the table that Shane was breaking from, getting good results. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Now that you really can't fault him. He had the cue ball kind of tailing off and dying and got kissed back in the corner. It's ugly.
Kicked. He made 2 balls and a cue ball, which means 3 balls.
only slightly over the 4. Has to be mindful to not graze the 4 with his shaft. He didn't. Very smooth cueing action.
Great speed.
Both these guys got that great transition from backswing to foreswing. If you want to learn a little something about pool, watch these two guys. And then matches up with their uncanny accuracy.
And Mark Wilson is an expert on the fundamentals of the stroke.
That little funny angle here with the 4. Looks like he can control it pretty well. Yeah, no problem. He eased into the heart of the pocket. That shot play is difficult for amateurs, and Shane handles it effortlessly. Wants a little angle on the 8 here. Did not get a little angle.
Yeah, he got it.
You wouldn't think that would be the angle he played for, however.
You know, you want the rail angle to bounce off it, but this is going to be good.
No, it is. I'm just saying it's such a small area to get this
You're right.
angle. You can land straight real easy there.
In other words, folks, he wasn't trying to get on the rail. Oh, he wiggled that one in.
I think we're going to see a draw shot here over to the side rail and then back across. Well, maybe he's queuing up for top. Yep. A good shot. Good job there. We're seeing 1 inning 10 ball, and this is a blistering pace by comparison to the other matches that we've broadcast. 4 games for Van Boening, 5 games for Van Boening, 1 game Pagulayan. I mean, this is fast, Danny, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've played matches that, yeah, there's a couple 9:57 so far for Shane Van Boening.
Tough to beat that.
Yeah, that one scratch on the break, it was the big one, and then he missed the bank shot, sold out a shot. Yeah, this is just what it was billed to be. Alex is playing well, too. I can't fault him. He had one slight position error. Oh, look at that break. Another great break. We've seen matches where there's hardly any success rate on the break, and here it's like it's almost 100% success rate, with the exception of the scratch.
Well, he made a ball, and now he's got 1 ball to make. I always say that. There's always 1 shot in a rack that'll win the game, and this is it. Make the 1, you're going to get on to 2. 3 is open.
Okay, this is that pretty shot. He needs to get his good follow-through down. Yeah. This is the one that really tests your nerves. See if he can keep his head still here. Slow back, head still, great job. Had the finish.
Split the wicket.
No, I couldn't compliment that effort more. That was textbook right there. Everything you're supposed to do, and sure enough, hit the heart of the pocket. That was an awesome shot. Back it up, get an angle to transfer easily to the 6th ball.
Perfect angle to get to the 6. You got to have an angle for angle. You know, it's not an accident that he fell here. Very great player. Well, he might have to shoot the 7 up the far corner unless he wants to draw at 1 rail.
Yeah, this is weird because if the cue ball's just an inch short of where it's at, it's much easier to roll forward. Here, he's going to have to play that 7 with an angle and from long range. He's almost going to have to stop the cue ball or barely stun it at 1 ball with the head. Now he's looking at the draw. No. Yep. Okay, settled for what the table would give him. He didn't try to force something that wasn't there and just become a shot maker. He's on a good roll here.
Yeah, this is showing the confidence he has right now.
Nice follow through.
Might have overcut it. Oh, but it went in. Good speed.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Shane is feeling good right now.
I'd say. I love the way he's playing. Yeah, good. It's a little funny here. He wants to just make sure he gets this. No mental lapses against Pagulayan. Great job there. Just his fourth breaking run out, by the way. That's all. 6 games for Van Boening. 1 game Pagulayan. $965. Inching forward. He never will get to 1,000 no matter how good he plays, so. That goes away once you make 1 error. You can get close, though. Yeah, Alex has to be deeply concerned that Shane's break is working so good right now.
That's like the symbol pi in math.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an exact number, no matter how many zeros and nines you put on it.
All right, here we go. Oh, very square hit. I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah, here they go, draining in.
Well, he doesn't have a good shot on the 1.
No. No, you don't always get a good shot on the 1, but this way he can retain control of the table. He can make a good safety here and not lose any ground whatsoever.
Well, I don't understand. You liked him shooting the bank the long way, but now you don't want him to shoot this bank.
Well, it's not a go shot. It's off angle. You can't play stupid. You have to win when you play a bank. This is very conservative, and it's a certainty. Had the 5-ball not been blocking the corner pocket where it could have been another 2-way shot, bank and safe possible, then maybe then. So, not a wide open off angle cross side bank.
Good hit, but I don't think he's going to like it.
Well, this is just how pool can conspire against you. He's made 1 little slight error so far, and that's the chances he's had. He made a good shot there. Could have easily turned out favorable for him, but didn't. That's the beauty.
See how he avoided hitting those balls?
Yes.
That was not an accident, folks. He had a perfect view of where the cue ball was going to go on that shot. And again.
Went a little far.
Oh, he's going to get it in the corner now.
Good shot there.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Great shot. I guess the 4 passes. Position is no problem.
In a massive understatement, this is just a different Shane Van Boening than what we've seen thus far in this tournament. Completely different. Do you agree?
Yeah. Well, it gets near the end, and he sees the goal line and the money. But you're right. He's playing better now than he did any of the other matches that he won anyway.
This is as good as you can possibly play pool. What you're witnessing here is an art form. It's not pool playing. This is an artist at work. Every shot crafted, every stroke designed and executed. You got to rehearse a long time to be able to hold your mental focus through a series of balls like this. Play this well. This is not an accident like Danny suggested earlier. These guys train like athletes to get to this point. And Pagulayan could well play this same speed if he would get a turn.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Shane is going to give Alex many chances.
Right. And Shane Van Boening wins game number 8. While it was not a break and run out, it was built off of his break. Made a couple balls on the break, a good safety, right back at the table, and now he's back off and running 7-1. There it is, moving up to 970 here. Only 2 errors made. I only have 1 error on my scorecard because I don't call the bank an error. Anyway.
Yeah, you're
just
playing
having
good.
fun with you. We're informed that's actually a safety error. So.
Yeah, you're playing good, Mark.
Well, the Shane's playing good. This gets my adrenaline going to see somebody get up here and perform like this. Settles in the break. Rack number 9. Oh, he's really squaring it up.
Oh.
Got kissed way down the table. Got another kiss to take it out of the scratch. I don't think he can see enough of the 2.
He can't.
It'd be exciting if he could, though, because this would be a good tester.
Well, he can hit the edge of it, but I don't think he can make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to play distance, cut it thin, and go long. You got your opponent reeling a little bit. Whatever you do now, as long as you don't give him easy outs, he's going to struggle. He's way behind already.
Well, guess what? This 2-ball goes. He's taking it on.
You think it does?
I do.
Well,
I can tell by his demeanor he's playing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Nice finish. Oh, can I clap? Great shot there.
Yeah.
Good pace, good rhythm. Head still. He's getting through the ball good. I get just past the 5. No problem. Life is good if you're Shane Van Boening.
Finals are going to be at 9 o'clock, folks.
He is working his butt off out here. The mental stamina is why you have to have that physical strength, Danny, that you allude to about training.
Yeah,
this guy's an athlete. It's not just he's a good pool player.
Yeah, I like that, and we always talk about it. The European players all are in condition. Who's in better shape than Niels Fyen?
Yeah.
Well,
Shane puts his tip out there. I like that. He takes a moment, puts his tip out there, just making sure he gets that cue ball right where he wanted it.
When I said who's in better shape than Niels Fyen, our great white leader, Pat Fleming, said Thorsten Holman, but I don't think so. In an Olympic match, I bet on Payan over Thorsten.
Yeah, it's a one-horse match right now. That was the 5th break and run out for Shane Van Boening. He now expands the lead 8 games to 1. The match is barely 30 minutes old. Yeah, blistering pace. He's had it there on the rack track. You can see he won 4 games, lost 1, won 4 more games. Tons of momentum. Not likely he can maintain this pace throughout the match, but he's only 3 games away from the finish line.
Yeah.
The 10-foot table, it has its way of getting your revenge. It's a game that you can play, but you can never really master.
And Pagulayan now has to beat him 10-2.
Squared it up pretty well again. Cue ball got kissed way down table. Had it not got kissed down table, there's a good chance that Shane would have had a reasonable shot on the one.
Yeah, we're going to see a push. Where do you push to get the best of it?
No, you're not going to push out to get the best of it against Pagulayan. You're not going to push out to a routine safety or shot that he won't play and make.
Well, I push out to the kick. Shoot it towards the 8.
Right.
And you're going to kick the one. At least dare, Alex.
Right. Yeah.
But I think Alex will shoot if he does what I just said.
Looks like that's what Shane's doing, just pushing out. I think Alex is going to try to play safe by putting the 1 over by the 3, and I think Shane was aware of that when he pushed there. And then Shane's just hoping for a little better chance than what he had there.
Oh, that's no good.
Double kissed it too, left a shot.
He hit it too full to start with, and not hard enough. He's going to play the 8, I believe, in the side.
And that's the thing, when you're on a run like this, and then that push out, it's almost like Shane's never left the table. He's got all his momentum. He's got the speed of the table down. He's feeling good. He's made some good, tricky shots.
Well, the one didn't cooperate, but I think he can cut it in and hit the point.
No, it's below that, but can he hold the cue ball with the kill here?
Mark, he hit the point, Mark. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't say that with you usually, but with Billy, I would. He hit the point. But anyway, what's he got now? A cut?
Yeah, cut on the 3. Not an easy shot, and particularly with where the 6 ball is lying.
Yeah, the position is tougher than the shot here, I believe.
Right. I think it looks like he's going to come back between the 7 and 4.
Just perfectly
good
clean.
shot. Good shot.
Oh, look at that.
He had to go ever so close to the side pocket to get this result. That's what he played for. He pocketed the ball purely so it went where he had determined he needed to be. If he hit the pocket a little rough, it does not go there.
And the angle he's got on the 4, he's going to play for the 5 where his belly is, that pocket. Well, his belly's not there anymore, but he's still going to shoot it in that pocket. Well, he's going to lose the cue ball a little bit, but I think he'll overcome that.
Hello, 10. Yeah, that was always in the route of the third cushion there he was going to. He's going to have to be a shot maker here.
Well, it's an easier shot when you're winning 8-1 than if you're losing 8-1.
Yep. Going with draw. A little bit surprised by that. Maybe I guess it's too close to the scratch angle there. Yeah.
It is.
And he informed Ken Schumann that he's going to use his 40-second extension here. And I love this idea. Slow down. Take a moment here because you can win this game. No sense being in a hurry. You're not going to use the rest of the other part of the 40-second shot clock anywhere else in this rack anyway. It's not like you need to save it for something else. Seems content to play the draw shot here.
Now
okay.
I can say a rare miss, can I?
You certainly can. Well, certainly can't fault him for anything that he's done, but when he added the extra power, it also hampers accuracy on that one. I thought maybe he should just cinch it over the rail and take another long shot.
The match starts, you got that tension and the adrenaline's flowing, then you get way ahead. You might not be as sharp for a second. You know, the adrenaline didn't flow anymore. Good shot.
Yeah.
I think he's got to go 2 rails to the end rail with a little right-hand English.
Nice hit
Nicely
there.
done.
Yeah.
But this is when things aren't going good.
Yeah,
The ball stops on the rail. The only thing can go wrong.
it just complicates things. It makes everything just a little bit tougher. You just can't quite get your rhythm going when you have to constantly play from positions like this. You have to just be a shot maker. Top spin, just ball speed shot here. Very good. Very good. This guy, he is just tough business. Okay, eases that 10 ball into the corner pocket and picks up his second win. Trails in the match 2 games to 8. Alex knows he needs to be productive on the break here. Does not want to have to gunfight every rack with Shane, get into some kind of defensive exchange, because it just figures to be too close to 50-50 every rack. No, squared him up pretty nice. Look
Watch out, cue ball.
Oh, man. That's not what Alex needed at all.
That's the second scratch on the break.
It is. It barely got back there. I don't know. My scorecard, I have a hard time really assessing a penalty there. He's got to use some power to get the cue ball back. I guess it is an error, but kind of a harsh error. I always favor players, my judgments.
It's because you're a pool nut.
Well, if he dunks it right in the side, I completely agree with that one. That one barely limped back to the corner pocket.
Shane didn't do well in the banks, and this doesn't count for the points for the all-around. So he's going to have to do good in 9-ball and 1 pocket to have a chance for the all-around. That's pretty good money. That's like 20 more thousand.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think Shane's kind of taking it out on the 10-ball field now. That
oh, yeah.
Gets some revenge here for these bankers that beat him.
A lot of good bankers. This is bank pool area. And they are not all known players. But I always say it. In the old days, you played a top player, most of the players dogged it. They're not doing that anymore. They don't care who they're playing, man. They're going to play good. Look at that hit.
Yeah.
Looked easy, folks, but effortless. He got close to the ball with an angle to get off the rail. He's dabbing it.
No, he's got his good cueing action here today. He did not display that. He's getting through the cue ball. His tip seems to be staying on the cue ball just that split second longer, which gives him ball speed and accuracy. And yeah, kind of unfortunate for Pagulayan because he's never really got his foot in the door here in this match.
Well, the good thing about it is Alex got 4,000 coming, so it won't be for nothing.
No, yeah. The match now, Van Boening moves out 9 games to 2 in front and breaking. Most of Alex's losses have been at the hands of previous rack scratches on the break by Alex. He's had a couple of those, and it's cost him multiple racks.
And he missed a 6-ball that you were not expecting him to miss. And he went downhill from there.
I don't know that you could call it downhill. He's only had 4 innings or something there. But yeah, I know what you're saying. A little hop on the cue ball. Not quite the ball action he was getting. Dry break. That's uncharacteristic.
Now, this is a bad part of pool. You're losing by 7 games, and this is your shot, a safe. You know you're not going to gain 7 games this way. Pretty good speed.
Yep. Yeah, knowledgeable audience applauds that shot.
Well, you know, the balls are a little congested.
Danny told me something this week that Alex had a maximum on a 6x12 snooker table. I was duly impressed. Never forget that.
Yeah, he's won the Canadian National Snooker title 2 years in a row, and he ran a perfect game. That's a good hit right there.
Okay, well, Alex will have to now negotiate the cue ball behind the 10. Will not be hard, but you hate to keep going innings where you have to come to the table and play safe. Oh, he did not hit it well, Danny. He did not mean to bump the 10.
I was more thinking of going behind the 9 there. You know, he could have shot a little harder.
Well, anything, but not. I mean, he's for sure supposed to be behind the 10. And he was 6 inches away.
Well, at any rate, Shane is snookered. He's going to have to do some kicking. I think he's got to twirl it past the 3 with left-hand English and kick it 1 rail. I don't think he's got a 2-railer.
Looks like that's what he's planning on.
He's playing a 2-railer. It's going to be a tough hit.
A little high right-hand English.
Not for him. Good shot. Still, Alex doesn't have any shooting inning here.
Wow. Maybe he has a combination of the 2. I don't think the 1. No, he doesn't have that. What am I saying?
No, he's got to play another safe.
This is just how pool goes.
Yeah.
Could not get a shot.
He's dying. He's starving to get a shot and maybe try to string some games.
Yeah.
But
we know he's playing well, but he's not getting to play well.
Another safe. Yeah, he said, I'm not going to play safe. I can't gain these 7 games playing safe. So he shot at the bank.
He didn't see a good defensive shot there, so he went down playing offense.
Good idea. Don't lose a game with a phony safe. Shoot at a white flag. Good speed there.
Shane won the 9-ball championship here last year. And he won the 10-ball championship here last year on this table.
Yep. He won both games, finals, in the 1 hole on the hill. Yeah, speaking of the hill, he's going to get on the hill here if he runs out.
Yeah, the 6-ball's weird for sure. 7's right next to it. That might aid him. This is going to require a good shot here to get close to that 6-ball and pretty straight. I knew he hit it well because I watched his head and his tip finish. Now, he's not going to maybe get the exact position he wanted, or maybe he is. He's pretty darn close.
Yeah, he's got it. He's going to hit the point again, but he'll be perfect.
I mean, he's playing good. His cuemanship has risen dramatically from yesterday.
He's feeling real good, too. But like I said, he worked out a few hours before the match on this table.
Gorgeous shot. I guess the 8 passes. It's hard to tell from our vantage point. Yep.
You could tell by what he did. Now he's looking again, but I'm sure he looked before he shot.
You know what? I think he was trying to get the billiard on the 10.
You think so?
I really do.
No, I think he's got the 8 right in.
All right. Well, looks like he's queuing up to make 10. Maybe I'm wrong and you were right.
Yeah, I know he looked at it before he got there.
Yeah.
You don't shoot the ball and then see if it goes.
Oh, for sure. That. Not at this level. Oh, very nice. He's just cruising here. He makes everything look so automatic. This is a 5x10 with tight pockets. And he's just tearing it up, administering a savage beating right now to Alex Pagulayan, 10-2. This is the only way to beat a guy like Pagulayan, too. You have to dominate. You cannot gunfight with him every rack. And he's great at the kicking and defensive side. His pattern play is stellar.
Well, I always say that when a guy kills you this bad, it's painless.
I mean, right.
You're almost wishing for him to get out.
Well, I don't think Alex feels quite like that, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. But you just have to kind of shake the man's hand. And we were talking yesterday about how a few times in your life where guys just get up there and take a match, but this is one of those.
Well, Alex has got to win 9 in a row here.
Boening on the hill, breaking. This will be his last break of the match. Cue ball got loose. He ramped up the power a little bit. Is this going to be a dry break?
No, he made it 2. He made it 2. And he's got an angle on the 1.
And he's flowing. You know, he's at the table. I mean, he's feeling smooth, yeah.
Might be over.
Well, this first shot will tell us a lot about how this rack is going to go.
Yeah, he's going to go into the side rail a little bit.
Well, he's getting through the ball good. Head was still. Nice follow through, nice finish.
Well, he can't go forward because he'll hit the 10, and he's got a funny angle drawing it. So I think just take the cut on the 4.
Yeah, he recognizes just what you said. Now he's going to look at the 10 in the corner. Could he billiard it with a little inside spinning on the cue ball? I'm not saying to make it.
I know what you're saying. I'm saying it's not a good idea because you'll snooker yourself if you miss the 10.
Drawing off the top of the 10 then. No, missed the 10.
Oh, missed the 10. Everything.
Yeah. When he added the extra power, that took longer, I think, before he could hit the 10. Is that right?
He had the funny angle, you know. Is he going to try to cut this in? I don't think so.
No.
He's looking to see if he could hit it first.
Cross corner bank and safe.
Better cut it a bit because when you cut it, it's going to get a lot of right-hand English. Well, he could make it.
He could make it. What a shot. Oh, man.
Well, he's got another what a shot coming up here.
I know, yeah. This guy, whew. This is some pool playing being demonstrated.
I think he could shoot it right in the side. Go to the 6. No, he played safe. Now, that's brilliant playing. You know, you get ahead 10-2, and you still are worried about your opponent.
Yeah, he made a safety error here, too. He didn't quite get where he wanted to be.
No. But how much heat does Alex have now?
Yep. Funny angle to get to the 6, too. Everything's hard.
Yeah, might go right behind the 8.
Could clip something.
Nope.
Could miss something.
Yeah.
Pressure is a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're losing 10-2. You don't have a road map. You're done. He is absolutely cooked. But like I said, no, he's okay. He's okay. He's fine.
Yeah,
he wants to get close.
No, he didn't want to get that close. Yeah, make a long transfer, 2 cushions. Yeah, he wants to be close, just not that close.
Yeah. I think it's tutta finita. Oh, you got a little funny here. He's cutting it in the corner. No problem. He didn't even hit the rail. Yeah, he's totally confident right now.
Oh, he's hitting the balls clean. Okay. Pagulayan concedes. Gracious sportsman that he is. Great performance there, Shane Van Boening. That was a pure joy to broadcast here with you, Danny. So, well, that's our time for this time. Until
9
next
o'clock
time.
finals.
So long.